is pound for pound strongest woman in the world, Rhiannon Lovelace. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am joined by my partner. He was the first 105 in the world to break the 900-pound deadlift barrier. 2 times Wales strongest man, Luke Davies.
I've finally been allowed to join here on a YouTube channel, so here I am.
So today's episode, we now have the events and the weights for World's Strongest Woman 2021.
So we're going to give our predictions across the 4 women's classes.
There is some really exciting girls all across the world. We'll try and get those together in today's episode. Now, we know that I'm going to try as hard as I can to regain my title, but for the sake of this video, we're going to take me out of it. This whole channel is about me. We don't need this episode being about me as well.
So, what we're going to do, we're going to pick out who we think are going to be the top 3, no particular order, and then we're going to explain why. So, first up, we have Camilla from Australia. Now, Camilla has had a great past few years. She's freaky strong. She's great at stones. She's pretty much good at every event.
She's all-round,
really
good athlete.
She won the Arnold Amateur Under 64 title last year. She's won numerous titles in Australia.
She's in a 150 stone.
She's in a 150 kilo Atlas stone. She's just broken the silver dollar deadlift world record for any woman ever. So she has to be in the picks for top 3 in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. One of mine is a little biased, but it's justified. Kate Connolly. She is one of the Chaos athletes. But for me, I mean, I work with this girl 5 days a week. She is just phenomenal. The tenacity that she has, the brute strength that she has, these are amazing weights for her and events themselves. I don't think I've ever seen a girl that can handle weight on their chest like Kate can. If it's pressable, Kate will get it pressed.
And then to round out our top 3 predictions, I'm going to go with Jessica Thika from Canada. Yeah. Jess is just an all-around great athlete. As long as she has time to prepare for this show, she's just so consistent. She's been on the podium in the last 2 years.
She's been on the podium more than any other girl, hasn't she?
Yeah, so I don't think you can not pick her to be right up there.
Yeah, I mean, she's come so close to the title multiple times. It's just been tiny little things that have taken her down. She is definitely one of the biggest threats in the whole field.
Other than those girls, you have a number of ladies who can contend. You have the British girls like Shannon Clifford, Chloe Brennan, Farah Fonseca, all really good girls, and depending on what happens today, they could be right up there, even challenging for the win. Yeah,
I think they're a little bit underestimated because they haven't been to Worlds before, but I've competed with these girls for a number of years and they are definitely not to turn your back on. They are very tough to beat.
Then on the non-British side, in America, you have Rebecca Lort, who just won America's Strongest Woman in the lightweights.
Really well.
You got Daphne Zhang, who came 2nd in the Arnold Amateur last year. You have Christine Couchon, who's been in every final OSG, if I recall, with the podium.
I mean, she had the stone world record, so again, phenomenal at the stones. Daphne was a finalist the year I won it, but she has made significant progress since then. I'm really excited about this class as a whole.
Just as an FYI, we haven't included a few athletes just because we believe they've moved up to middleweight, so that's why we don't have the likes of Leah Birdsall and Christina Bangma in this video.
Oh, if they're in the lightweights, they are right up
again. They'll be right up there because they're just crazy good.
Both those are phenomenal athletes. So, onto the middleweight division. Now, in my opinion, this is one of the most, if not the most, competitive class in the entire comp. These girls are phenomenal. It is stacked and it comes down to absolutely nothing every year.
Yeah, we are going to pick a podium again and we're going to name a few other girls, but realistically, I'd say 1 of 10 girls could win this show. It's so competitive. And it's not because none of them are standout, it's because they're all
really amazing.
So,
first off, one of my favourites for the comp is Rebecca Rowley. She has come very close several times. She's a phenomenal athlete, and I think she's incredibly good at pressing from the chest, isn't she? Yeah. So I think with these events, I think she's just going to absolutely excel. I'm really excited to see how she's going to do.
My pick is Melissa Peacock. She's a Canadian athlete. She won the middleweight amateur Arnolds last year.
Strong as hell.
Will be going to the pro show next year, I believe. She's crazy strong.
She just gets better and better,
yeah,
doesn't she?
She just missed out on a podium spot to Rebecca Rowley last year on countback. I think she can go all the way this year.
It's going to be interesting to see them two face off again over another 12 months. My last favourite, now it's going to come as a little bit of, I think it's a little bit of a wild card with this one, but I'm going to stand by it.
I'd call it a wild card just because her comp results, I think, don't quite reflect how strong she is.
Yeah.
But
Nadia Stowers. This girl is statically a monster. I really, really like her. She is one of the statically, if not the most statically strongest girl in the field. She's not, her performances haven't been like titles and podiums and like that. Her speed isn't the best, but with this being so heavy, I really think this is going to play into her hands, and I'm really excited to see what she can do when she gets out there. You know, that 200-pound log, she's just going to make it like a joke.
Yeah,
I'm really excited to see that.
I agree. I think she'll hit double figures in the log. I think she'll blitz the deadlift ladder. I think she could.
Yeah, we've got 9 months to work on everything else, and yeah, it's a 600-pound yoke, so it's not going to be a sprint fest anyway. It's going to be really exciting.
Okay. After that, we have athletes like the rest of last year's podium. We have Martina Andersson from Sweden, who won it last year. We have Sunny from Germany, who came second last year. Both of those athletes are super well-rounded. We haven't picked them on the podium just because we think the event might slightly suit the other three girls a little bit more.
It's come down to nothing.
Yeah, but these two girls could easily win it.
One of my favourites, again, a little biased, but do not mind. Rebecca Kumsty from Preston. Again, she is statically incredibly strong. She has the current middleweight log record at 115. So again, a 92 log is going to be pretty comfy for Bex. She's really good at moving. Her yokes are phenomenal. Her stones are just getting better. So it's her second time at Worlds. I'm going to be really, really excited to see how she gets on.
Other than those girls, ones who people may not have heard of if they don't follow the American scene, you have Gabby, who just won America's Strongest Woman middleweight and believe just broke the mouse and block world record. And you have like Abigail Deal, who came second, America's Strongest Woman. If they do OSG, I'm not sure if they are yet, they'll be very competitive.
I hope they go, because they're relatively, those names need to get much bigger. Like, much more people need to learn who they are.
On top of all the girls we named, you can't discount someone like, if Leifa Ingalls decides to come back. She's struggled with injuries last year, but I know she's rehabbing. I'm not sure if she plans to do OSG, but if she comes back, for example, she could.
I mean, she's probably my favourite middleweight of all time.
Yeah,
right? to win the heavyweight pro show as a middleweight.
She's one of the greatest strongmen of all time, in my opinion. So if she decides to come back, then she could put the cat amongst the pigeons. So
really exciting, either way. So on to the heavyweights, the open girls. Now, one of my favourites for this, she's relatively new to the sport, but I think to discount her just wouldn't be right at all. Victoria Long, absolutely phenomenal athlete. Saw this girl at Worlds for the first time last year. She was incredible. Really excited to see how she's going to get on.
Yeah, I watched the live stream of North American Nationals a few months ago, and
she just
absolutely demolished everybody. If you haven't seen her sandbag toss event from that show, so go and try and find it, 'cause it's absolutely crazy. In my opinion, I'd probably have to place her the favourite, just because of how explosive she is.
I don't disagree, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, she's just awesome.
Her deadlift, her sandbags, her yoke, her pressing, like I think she will be the next big thing in the sport, I really do.
Following on from that comes as no surprise. I'm going to put these two in the same sentence because their rivalry has kind of like transcended UK strongwomen in the last few years. We have
so close.
Andrea Thompson and Donna Moore. Two of the strongest women to ever live.
Definitely.
Donna, in my opinion, along with Christian Rhodes, is the greatest strongwoman ever.
I mean, you've got the Queen of the Stones versus Queen of Log Press.
Exactly.
Like it's
deadlift, Andrea obviously demolished that last year, but Donna is still a very good deadlifter.
She finished the deadlift ladder, yep.
Andrea is known for her pressing, but then last year Donna absolutely demolished the Ashton Clean press and won that event.
So it's all to play for, you know. Donna's backed by Jenny Todd, Andrea's backed by Big Loz, so they both have really good professional support.
Two of the best athletes of any gender in the UK, in my opinion.
Definitely.
Donna just brings it on competition day. If you've never watched Donna Moore compete, I really advise doing it at some point.
Before I lift.
It's just the energy she exudes as an athlete is just insane. So yeah,
She's nice to be around as an athlete as well.
Yeah,
Like,
she's
a nice
just
girl.
crazy. And Andrea is just probably statically the strongest woman to ever live, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think if there was a static award, it's got to go to Andrea, hands down.
Yeah.
One of the ones we couldn't nail this down to a top 3. I had to include this girl in here purely because of the weights that she can shift. Annabelle Chapman. She is relatively new to the sport. Just to give you guys some background on Annabelle, in the first 18 months, she's a totally natural athlete. In the first 18 months of lifting weights, she had broken the heavyweight axle press world record. Heaviest axle press ever done. You know, the way she moves with a yoke, I've actually never... Have you ever seen anybody move with a yoke the way Annabelle can move with a yoke?
We might be accused of bias for picking Annabelle on this list, but the reason we've picked it is because we see behind the scenes of these events for this particular show are just suited down to the ground. Like,
I think she's really going to make a name here.
After overhead, yoke is his second best event, I'd say.
Followed by deadlifts.
She's very explosive. If throwing bags are great at
yeah, I have holes in my ceiling in my gym.
Yeah, so she obviously hasn't got the pedigree of the 3 girls above her in terms of like
she's not been doing it enough.
International results, but I generally think she can surprise people.
Yeah, she's going to be. And the backup of these girls, like, it is realistically going to come down to this 106 log press. It's not an easy log press at all.
So someone who's absolutely going to destroy the log press, you have Jessica Fitton. She just broke the muscle block press world record with a 100 kilo press, which it was essentially strict press as well. She didn't use any leg drive. She'd probably be top 3 on the log press event, I'd imagine. Over the last few years, she turned into a really well-rounded athlete. She's been top 5 2 years in a row OSG.
It was close,
and I believe she podiumed at the Arnold Pro Show last year.
She won the strongest woman in the world.
And she won strongest woman in the world, and she's just won America's strongest woman.
So she's definitely going to be a contender.
On the day, she could easily win this show. Obviously, we haven't picked in the top 4. That's just...
You couldn't nail it down. These girls are so
Jessica could easily win this show on the right day.
Next one, we've got Melissa Edwards. Again, another deadlift queen. Big fan of Melissa Edwards. Again, her work ethic is phenomenal. You know that I watched her pull 600-pound strapless. It was like days after she did another comp. It was just she walked up to the bar and broke the world record.
She also came top 5 last year. So
her medleys
can't discount anybody.
You know, when anything she gets in her hand, she just buggers off with. It's going to be really exciting to hear. One of the last ones in this prediction is another deadlift queen, Hayley Randall. Again, I think she's just going to smoke the deadlift ladder. She's a teeny bit behind on the press, but again, we're talking kilos. We're talking kilos behind, and there's nearly a year to go. So it's all going to come down to who pulls their finger out this year. So, on to the Masters. This is over 40s. Now, for the first time in the men's, they have actually brought in an over 50s division as well. So we're hoping that goes really well this year and it will come across to the women's. But for now, it's the over 40 girls.
So, for the start of our podium, I have gone for Jessica Rush. She's an American athlete from Indiana, I believe. She won it last year, so in my opinion, she has to be the favourite. She's a very experienced lifter. She's been competing strongman for many years. She's an all-round great athlete. I think as long as she has a decent performance on the log, which is very heavy for the Masters ladies, I think
she's just, like I say, she's just all-round. She's very consistent.
To win the whole show.
Yeah, definitely. One of my favourites to win, all the way from Wales, is Sam Taylor. She is returning to Worlds. It was her first time last year. Again, the reason for this is just the static strength that this girl has. You know, she'll be well over a 200-pound log by the time it comes round. She's already closing on the 500-pound deadlift. She won Britain's Strongest Masters by a considerable margin. Like, she was really, really good.
Yeah. She was going into the final day last year in a podium position.
In her first year.
Unfortunately, a bit of an inexperienced coster in the axle clean and press. But I think with an extra 2 years experience under her belt, she has to be one of the favourites.
Yeah, definitely. She's a completely different athlete now.
Rounding out our podium predictions, I'm going for Kirsi Järvi from Finland. Now, she is a very experienced athlete. She actually made the final at OSG in 2017 in
My
the
first
lightweight
year.
class. She beat Ree
She did.
that year. She podiumed last year in the Masters. She's a very, very experienced lifter, very
Again,
strong.
really all round. And
Yeah.
that's what it's going to take this year. We're going to see who can do it across the board. It's gonna be really
And
exciting.
she's got to be one of the favourites.
Yeah, definitely.
Outside of our podium predictions, we have people like Kiki Billy Jonsson from Norway. Now, Kiki is a very, very experienced lifter. She's been
She's just the
competing
best
for
as
years,
well.
all around the planet. So much international experience. The reason I have picked Kiki for the podium is I think she's going to struggle with the log press. But
There's plenty of time. Plenty of time.
she's a very good loader. She's very good at moving events. If she gets to the final, I expect she'll win the stones.
I mean, there's not much in the sport that Kiki hasn't seen.
Yeah,
She
she's
hasn't come across.
been there, done that. So she's going to be right up there always.
Definitely. One of my backups for the predictions, again, it will actually be her first time, and it's just the numbers that are showing this. It is Sue Taylor Franklin, again from Wales. She is 52 years of age, and she will be pushing well over a 550-pound deadlift by the time it comes round. Absolutely phenomenal deadlifter. Pressing is going extremely well. She's going to be really... She came second to Sam, didn't she? Yep, they made a national news, being wives on the podium of British Forest Masters. So again, she's making a ton of improvement. So within the 9 months, it's going to be really exciting to see what she comes out.
Finally, as sort of, not a wild card, but we have...
It's wild card on the fact she might not be there.
She didn't compete last year due to health issues, so I'm hoping if she's there this year, we have the 2018 winner, Julia Smay. Now, Julia is so statically strong for a Masters lifter. If she's fit and if she's there, she has to be...
You know, big deadlift, big press, she can move with anything, like she's just, if she's there, she's definitely going to be one of the favourites. But overall, thing with the Masters, because it's an open weight category, so, you know, you really get the speed from the lightweights, the brute strength from the open, and it all comes together to battle it out. It's going to be really exciting. So there we have it, the predictions for World Farm Summit 2021. Hope you've enjoyed it. We will be bringing out a prediction for the men's side, and I will put everybody that we talked about today's Instagram handle in this video so you guys can give them a follow. Keep an eye out for exciting updates over the next 9 months as we work towards World Strongest Women 2021. Thanks for listening, guys.